It is 6:30 p.m.
Yep.
I'd like to call this special meeting of the Police Commission of Old Saybrook to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Present tonight are all the commissioners. I don't think I need to go through them by name. I invite a motion to enter into executive session to discuss an employee grievance over disciplinary action.
So moved.
Inviting Acting Chief Walsh, Attorney Patrick McHale, Mr. Ron Sirachi, and Dispatcher James Shake.
So moved.
It's Chief Walsh. That's Chief Walsh, it's not Ron Sirachi.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Is
Chip Walsh.
he an
Chip
attorney
Walsh.
or
Yeah.
a union?
Is he-
Right.
Ron's not here. Ron is here?
No, just. the
Chip
attorney.
is here.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, cool.
Family has apologized all the vicinity.
Any discussion on the motion?
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
at some point, if we decide that we don't wanna have everybody in here while we're discussing stuff, are we gonna be allowed to ask people to leave?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Right, so I moved it. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussions or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. We have come out of executive session
But I can go down to the.
in order to, little bit of a fact check, that will involve watching a video of,
Yep, we're gonna right now.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
Sounds good. We are back online.
Okay, whenever we're ready.
So what would you like to see, I guess? You want to?
Yes, there's been a request to view the video of the pertinent events.
Will you allow me to share the screen? Yes, if you would, go ahead and play it.
So Chubb, do you think that you or Attorney McHale should explain to the public why we're back out and what we're doing?
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Sure,
If you could.
be happy to. So, when we went into executive session, there was a general understanding that there would not be a presentation of or discussion of the facts giving rise to the grievance. I consulted with Attorney Walsh, who represents Mr. Shake, and he indicated that he was not going to question the factual issues regarding the matter. But after we went into executive session, there was a delay, causing me to ask why we're working with computers. And I was advised that the police commission wished to have a video played of the facts that give rise to the grievance. And so I've advised the police commission that under the Freedom of Information laws, in a grievance hearing or a meeting such as this, there needs to be a bifurcation of the hearing or the meeting. To the extent there'll be a factual discussion regarding the matter giving rise to the grievance, that needs to be conducted in public session. but other aspects of the grievance can be discussed in executive session. And so that's why I've advised the commission that we needed to leave executive session to play this video. And the commission is now out of executive session and we're gonna play the video.
So I got one question before we start. How are we gonna know if we have questions on what we wanna ask? If we do it in executive session or if we do it in public?
Well, we're gonna look at the video, and then I'm gonna ask the commissioners if they have any questions about what they saw of anyone, and then we'll go into executive session.
Perfect.
And my only question is there sound with this?
There's no sound.
Okay.
For clarification, I don't think every police commissioner asked to see this.
All right, so I have this, the video is currently at, 1:33:13. The first, incident happens at 1:33:38, so it's gonna play for about 25 seconds. And then we can just kind of play it until you feel like you've seen enough. It does continue to 3 o'clock when Chief Spiro comes in to make the repairs. We could forward to that if you want or not. But this,
I don't think we need
I
to.
don't think we need to as well. When there's no sound, it's just the interior cameras of the building that don't report sound. That's why there's no sound. But I pause it. I mean, that's the
Is that a dog toy?
dog toy. No, so that's the handset. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
fallout phone. So
Sorry, yes.
when the 911 system goes down, that phone rings.
Okay.
It unfortunately rings quite a bit during the day because it's a normal landline number. And it's quite frequently just telemarketers or prank calls. But it obviously has to be answered as a emergency call.
I meant to look at the K9, like it wasn't totally far-fetched. Okay.
So you all have the timeline and we can go to different
Yeah.
points in the timeline if you'd like, where he picks it up. It's
I
actually,
didn't print it because I didn't think we were gonna need that stuff.
Yeah, no,
I'm watching it on my, you could.
What's the next event? What, here we go.
so if that's off, that means that.
basically for the next 5 minutes, dispatcher Shake's gonna start playing with the phone, checking it, unscrewing the receiver, unplugging it, plugging it back in. You can watch it.
Is he talking on his headset right now? No, he's not. He's- Wait, Ryan, can you explain again? So that phone is for 911?
Correct. So 911 computer system.
Okay.
If it fails,
That phone only?
there's one in
Okay.
each,
Okay.
one
The
in each,
landline.
one in each telecommunications station, but they're all connected to the same line. So if one of them is down, they're all down.
Okay.
Isn't that the fail safe though?
The fail safe,
That's the main one, if it doesn't, if it's tied up or something, it rolls to those, right?
correct.
But if the building were to explode, the 911 calls go to the state police or Valley Shore or somebody, right?
We have to take the steps to reroute things.
Okay, if the building exploded, are you staying in there to do that? Or do they just
Well,
automatically
it
go?
wouldn't happen until somebody makes a phone call and initiates that process. It
No,
doesn't happen- it doesn't happen on the
I think her point is him flicking that off. Did that deter any emergency
It's the
calls?
drop.
That's not what I said
It's
at
the
all.
dropping that was the issue.
That's not what I said at all.
All right, let's keep watching.
I think mine was more appropriate.
Is there more that, there's more tinkering with the phone to try to repair it?
Correct.
I don't. Jackie, do you need some more?
Um,
What are you looking for, Jackie?
I just didn't, I wanted to understand the timeline with a visual.
Okay.
That was my purpose.
That's
Are we good?
So from the timeline, there's another 6 minutes of, him working on the phone, unplugging it, going underneath, and then if we jump to 3 o'clock when, Chief Spear's notified and he comes in. Would you like me to continue
So
playing
is
it?
there anything other than on the timeline here beyond that?
No,
Okay. All right, so basically, we're just going back and forth and checking to see if it's working, operating. Oh,
and basically at 3 o'clock, they found it not operational. After he left and did not report the issue to anybody.
so who is,
Is this running?
Wait,
No,
what?
it's not, I got paused.
no, stop.
So, but that was at 1:33, no?
Yes,
Okay, so at 3 o'clock, you found it unoperational.
correct.
Where's the lapse? Why did we not? What was unoperational?
The fallout,
The red line.
the red line.
So why did it take so long? No, I'm not saying, yeah, but why did it take so long to fix
Because it wasn't.
It was reported. And
Oh,
until dispatcher shakes.
so there's no like magic, like, hey, not working?
No.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Are there any other fact questions that people have while everyone's in the room and we're on the record?
All 3 phones were disabled
Yes,
because of the one?
yes.
Is that the main one, like at the hub?
They're all connected to the same phone line essentially. So
So if one goes off,
they're all there.
just like,
But that's not my understanding, is that's not the main 911 number, that's.
Correct,
the
that's-
fail
that's
safe.
the
That's the
backup.
back,
That's the
the red
back.
phone's at the back.
But what it did, it prevented us from knowing if the main system was down.
right. Which
But the
is
main system
horrible.
wasn't down.
Let's not get into characterizations at this
It
point.
wasn't me, yeah.
The main number wasn't down.
Not that we're aware of.
All right. So we have questions.
Now's the time.
Executive?
No,
Or no?
no, if
Okay.
it's a fact question.
Can you explain the 3 o'clock process?
Yeah.
So when dispatcher Shake left at 3 o'clock or shortly after 3 o'clock, the other dispatcher that was working the day shift with him reported the issue to the chief of police, Chief Spear at the time. And he went in and investigated.
So she was aware of it 2 hours or an hour and a half earlier and didn't say anything.
Who's Jake?
Well, she was aware,
Scratching.
she was aware that the phone was on the floor, the handset was on the floor.
Okay, and that wasn't an issue.
Okay,
And then she was aware that he was tinkering with it, but I don't believe she ever checked her own phone or
Okay,
if there was another call that came in.
so it could have. Is there like
So it's coworker.
like a system? Like if the phone is on the ground, who does what to do what, to make sure that it's
Not sure it's supposed to be on the phone or on the ground, so I would say
If
that
it's broken, it should be reported to the repair.
yeah.
I would imagine that's the system.
That is, actually, there is as I remember the investigator report, there is a procedure on precisely that point.
Yes, it's something
Damage to,
broken,
if there's damage to equipment, you report it.
report it.
So at 3 o'clock, she all of a sudden knew that the phone wasn't working. So she didn't know an hour and a half before. I guess my point is there's two people in the dispatch. Nobody.
Where
Um,
does she sit in relation to where?
They're basically on opposite sides of the room, kind of,
Okay.
they can see each other, you know, talk to each other, but they're probably 12 feet apart, 15 feet apart.
Cause I didn't see her on the video.
No.
No, so she was behind the other consoles, just kind of hidden from that angle.
So the screens were here.
And she didn't hear the phone like drop to the ground, like I would have heard that, like if there was any sort of,
She's on a headset though, right?
if on a phone call, but like. You're alerted, right? Like. My kids drop anything, I hear it, like,
We can go to her testimony in the IA.
Of course,
and review
yes.
it, but I don't.
sorry.
Can I ask what the purpose of the Frontier bill in this document was supposed to be about?
Yeah, that's,
So we were trying to determine if calls came in during that hour and a half time frame when it wasn't working. So that Frontier bill would show the calls that come in.
But the only calls I saw were calls going out. It did.
No, there was another document in there that reported the calls coming in,
Coming in, right?
but that bill started at April 29th.
And went through to,
But this incident happened April 10th.
I think that was the date the bill came in.
Probably goes on the
No, I think it's the wrong bill that was submitted in this.
so let me ask a question, with this red phone being off the hook or not working, could we still receive 911 calls? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm not asking.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, as long as the system was operational. But we don't know if it was operational or not, because the only way if you know it's not operational is when you get a call to that red phone. So
But if the. No,
it's kind of weird.
so
Yes,
if there
but
was
the-
like a hurricane, all of the power was wiped out, would that phone work?
So we're on generators, so hopefully we would have power still. That's the design of that phone is to be the backup system.
But in the event, like I was trying to ask earlier, in the event that there's a catastrophic thing that happened, the building explodes.
Yeah.
So when he calls 911 in Old Saybrook, they're just good, what are they, busy signal? Like it's not defaulting anywhere else?
Until
That's
somebody,
until somebody
somebody
actually
initiates the process.
Initiates that.
But what if you're all, what if something happens to all of you and they're able to even initiate?
Well, you know, we work well with our neighboring partners, so I think Valley Shore would be like, ooh, well, Old Saybrook Police Department's gone, we should probably roll over the phone calls.
Okay, cause I remember like way back, it used to roll over, so we don't have that, like that seems crazy to me.
We do, but you have to
You have
initiate
to,
that.
you physically have to make.
I understand that, but if you physically can't say Jim had a stroke and Andrea, had a heart
Okay.
attack there.
What is the importance of this red phone? I'm serious, I just want like, two.
As a backup for 911.
No, I get the backup, but what is, like, is it crucial to day-to-day operations?
Sure.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
if the 911 system goes down, that's your only way of getting 911
Okay,
calls.
so my internet goes down, then I have a hotspot, like, it's, like, is it?
It's our hotspot, it's their backup.
Okay.
But it's also the alerting system that the system is down. So there's no red light that flashes on the computer
But
screen.
it doesn't sound like it alerts you to anything, because you wait, because not you, but it was an hour and a half before anybody even, like, what is the purpose? How important is this? And if we cannot,
It is a backup, Jessica.
I understand,
It's the only backup.
I don't think it's the only backup. There's default routing, correct? Isn't
No, I believe you-
isn't the red phone the last line of defense? There's default routing if the main number's not working, and then the red phone's the last
It's
line
the
of
last line.
defense.
is that, okay,
I mean, Jim can speak on
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Right.
That's where I'm getting, I didn't come up with this on my own.
okay, last,
Should I
thank you, last line, that's all I needed.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So the fail-safe line,
Can you
that
identify?
I should say, is the last line of defense. First of all, you go to default routing. So it'll ring and then it'll go to the nearest PSAP. Okay, that's how that goes.
It'll go to the nearest.
PSAP, Public Safety Answering Point,
Okay.
which is for us, I believe, Valley Shore. But that red line that you have there is a dedicated 10-digit line. Okay, and it is a public phone, and it's become public for many reasons. One of them is we use the Everbridge system. And the Everbridge system is the reverse 911, and it picks up all of the 10-digit lines. And what happens is that line has become publicly out there. As I stated, to this day, I received 3 telemarketer calls on that line. It happens, and it was happening quite frequently. We've gotten up to 8, 10 a day.
So what you're saying, first, they call into the department, it's 911.
Yeah, and
If no one answers, it goes to Valley Shore.
it will default route. That's
And if
correct.
it doesn't go to Valley Shore, does it pick up, it routes to the red phone?
It'll, yes, that will happen.
So what was the first time that ex-chief Spirit talked to Jim?
I mean, Jim's been here for 16 years, so.
No, I'm talking about with this event,
I would say the next morning,
the next
yeah,
one.
when Jim came into work.
7 o'clock in the morning.
So so this happened on the 26th, the chief talked about.
No, no, have another
Ten.
10th.
April 10th.
Okay, so he talked to him on the 11th at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When Chief Sparrow talked to him, did he offer him union representation to talk about the issue?
No, I believe he just placed him on administrative leave with the.
He should have had his union rep there for that. If that's one thing that, Chief Sparrow did wrong right from the get-go.
Hmm.
First thing he should have done was, hey, do you want a union rep when I talk to you about this issue? And I didn't find anything in there where he did. So to me, if we had a real HR department here, that would have been thrown out, because the bottom line is, they violated him, but right off the bat, by not offering a union rep at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Did he ask?
I'm sorry. I'm just suggesting to the commissioners that if you have questions about the facts, not opinion about the law, or anything that's not a question about the facts, now's the time to ask them. Once your questions about the facts, the things that happened in that dispatch center on that day, on April 10th, if you have questions about that, now's the time. We will then go into executive session for the purpose of having conversation about the law.
See, this is what's confusing.
When I
Yeah.
meet with you privately.
Yeah.
This is
Wait.
what's confusing about what you talk about in open
Right,
session and what you
right.
don't talk about.
So,
Well, we
Jim,
talk
can
about
I ask
facts
you,
in open session.
I understand.
why did you throw the phone? On the
I
ground?
did not throw the phone. It was, as everybody sees with the comedians and or the mic drop type deal, it dropped probably 2 feet if it dropped an inch and onto a carpeted floor. And it was because I was listening to something on the computer in my
Okay,
headset
so you had a call,
and
okay.
the phone had been ringing all day. We have yet to take a call for service on that fail-safe line. The dispatch center has never taken a call for service on the fail-safe line the time that we've been under the roof of 36 Lynn Street.
Because when I look at that, I do think that you, oh, sorry,
That's
okay. So, but you were on the call? You were on the call when it fell?
I was
Okay,
working with my computer
Got it.
and I believe I was listening to something.
I'm getting that.
This is so confusing.
So it says that Chief Sparrow fixes the issue. So was Mr. Shake present when Chief Sparrow went to fix the issue at 15:21:20?
He would not.
His shift ended or he just wasn't?
The shift ended at 15.
Okay. Oh, his shift ended at 15.
That's great.
Right.
3 o'clock. Okay.
And so did Andrea's, and that's when she decided to go say something. Which then she also knew that the system was down.
I feel like you're hinting to something, Renee, so just say it. Like,
Well,
what is
no,
it?
No,
no.
opinion.
Again, let's let's focus on any questions about the facts. The facts are widely reported in the investigatory report, that I believe you all have. But if you have questions about anything that's ambiguous about that, or anything you've seen in the video you played, this evening, we can ask about that. But
Other than that,
discussion between commissioners is not appropriate.
Of course, I'm all set.
I'm good.
I'm good, I'm ready for executive session.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let us go back into executive session.
I make a motion that we go back into executive session, at least inviting the same people that we invited the last time.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We are out of executive session. We come to item 3 on the agenda, discussion and anticipated action on employee grievance over disciplinary action.
I have a motion, I move that we accept the grievance and rescind the discipline that is the subject of such grievance.
Second,
Any discussion? I would just like to say that some of us are of a contrary view and our votes will reflect that. So there's no more discussion. Let's call the question, and I suggest that we do this by roll call. Commissioners,
Yes,
yes.
Jill,
yes.
Jackie,
No.
Renee?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. 4-3.
Motion carried.
Motion carries. I invite a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.